Hey up guys, and welcome back to Piggy Pen's Tube, where today I'm taking part in a little challenge. I've given myself 2 hours to complete an RJ Hampson page. If you don't want to see the end result, look away now. The recording is just 1 hour that we're going to sit together today and keep each other company, but this actually took place over about 2 hours. So if you're going to do this challenge yourself, it's hashtag RJ 2 hour challenge. And don't forget to tag me at either Instagram or on YouTube if you're a fellow YouTube creator. And I'd love to see it. I'd love to see if you passed or failed the test, shall we say. So yeah, I decided to give myself this little challenge as, you know, time was of the essence at this time of the month. I'm getting through some buddies. And this is a buddy colour with a lovely guy called Declan of Colouring Declan on Instagram. So check out his page. And he'll probably have his page up as well today, I would imagine, or tomorrow. So yes, thanks to Declan for buddying up with me in this, which was an untouched book. This is in Forest Song by RJ Hampson. And I've given myself, on top of the 2 hour time challenge, you can see my timer going there, 1 hour 57 minutes left to go. On top of that, I've given myself a bit of a limited palette challenge as well. And I've put the colours that I'm using in the description of this video in case you do want to colour along. If you did want to colour along, what I would suggest you maybe do is just slow the video down. There's a way to do that on YouTube. I don't know that I've ever done that myself, but apparently you can, you can slow it down, mute it, and then put on some music and just enjoy colouring along with me. As you can see, I've put the colours on screen for you, and I would say this first colour might have been a poor choice, so you might want a nice lighter, brighter blue. I was kind of going for wet, drippy forest in January, so it's kind of grey. My swatches, I wonder if they've faded a little bit. I've actually swatched my Ohuhu on one of those Sarah Renee Clark swatch decks, but when I picked the colour I thought it was a lot paler, but actually it does, as it dries, it gets paler. You'll notice that. In the end, I like the colour, and I think it gives that, grey, wet forest type feeling, just after a little bit of rain. That's kind of what I were going for anyway. So, yes, colour along with me if you wish, or just keep me company because we're going to have a good catch-up. This is going to be a chatty video, not too much about what I'm colouring, a little bit. So we will touch on that, but we'll have a catch-up on other stuff as well. So this is Pigeon Blue that I've started the page with, and I'm just going and putting this in the whole background, which will just help the main elements of the illustration pop out. So it'll just be easier to kind of decide where to start and things like that. So I'm just getting a flat background in. With more time, I'd have probably done some shading over the top maybe, or I might have faded the background in or out. I might have put other elements in the background, maybe some raindrops, but this is a 2 hour challenge, so it's about, can you get a page that you're happy with in alcohol marker? That's the challenge as well. The only thing I'm using, and this is the challenge if you are doing it, is alcohol marker and 1 white gel pen. So 1 white gel pen and alcohol marker, that's your challenge if you want to take part. It's not something I'm pushing, it's just something I wanted to do for myself. I thought it'd motivate me to get this page sorted. And like I say, I'm happy with the end result. So, yes, what's been going on? First of all, one thing I want to talk about is hype. I've only come to realise that there's a new function on YouTube quite recently called hype. I don't know how new it is, but it's new to me. Apparently it's geared around smaller creators. So when you watch a video of a small creator, there might be a hype option, next to where the thumbs up and thumbs down is and stuff like that. And I can hype now. So when you get to a certain level as a creator, you can hype people, I think. And similarly, when you get to a certain level, you can be hyped. I think that's the idea anyway. So I've started hyping people. And I just wanted to mention it so that you guys think about doing it as well. It doesn't cost you anything, but I think you're limited to the amount of times you can hype. or how much you can hype. You might know more about it than I do. But one of the things that I were going to say is if you've got some hypes stored up, and you want to use them on one of my videos, please could you use them on the hashtag colouring for cancer video, the kind of the launch video. It's maybe 5 videos back now. I launched at the start of January, so you'll see it says big community news on the thumbnail. So if you could hype that video, if you want to give any hypes my way, please, let's do it for charity. That video has not been as successful as some of my more recent videos that are just about, general colouring things, which tells me that not as many people have seen it. And although it's got maybe, I think, heading towards 2,000 views or 1.5, that's not how many people stick around. After 30 seconds, less than half of your audience has remained with you. That's typical of YouTube videos. So just bear that in mind. And that's why I'm asking. I wouldn't normally say, oh, can you give me video hype? Remember, I'm not monetized. I don't get anything out of this. I'm just doing it for pleasure and friendships and all that good stuff. So there's nothing in it for me. And that's a purposeful choice on my part. So if you would give that video a hype, don't matter about any of my other videos. It's lovely when people do, and I right appreciate it. But I just need to get the word out before the Tubeathon on Sunday, because I really want people to be aware that it's going on. We just need to reach all parts of the community. Facebook has really been difficult to break into. I haven't been able to advertise it on Facebook because the community groups on Facebook just don't allow you to promote anything, unfortunately. So it's a shame. I were hoping it could be a Facebook, Instagram, YouTube thing. I mean, I could have gone to TikTok as well, couldn't I? But anyway, so yeah, Facebook, unfortunately, I haven't been able to get the word out. As try as I might, I haven't had any posts approved on any Facebook groups, apart from Chromatic Collective, which I've talked about before, is a fantastic Facebook group run by Derek and Adrienne. And also another group called Adult Colouring. I want to say it's got a very similar name to another group, so I have to be careful. But it's run by a guy called Richard Eagle, and he said it were fine for me to post as well, which isn't that weird. The two groups run by two guys both allowed it. I don't know what that says, if there's a pattern there or what, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. So I'm still here plugging away at this background. 15 minutes has already gone of my 2 hours, but we'll get there, do not worry. So do you think I will get this page completed? And that's alcohol marker with white gel pen finishing touches to a standard that I can be happy with in 2 hours. So let me know in the comments what your guess is now at this point, whether I managed it within 2 hours or did it take me longer. So pop in the comments, put the timestamp. So we're at, what are we in now? 8 minutes 20-ish. Pop the timestamp in the comments so I know what time in the video that you took your guess. Do you think I'll do it in 2 hours? And right, what else can we talk about? The next thing I wanted to mention is you may be aware that Jackie is taking, Jackie from Spare Room Studio is taking a little break off YouTube, not Instagram so much, but YouTube. And she explains why on her videos, but that left a hole in our Tubeathon schedule because for personal reasons Jackie just needs to concentrate on herself and the family right now, and I really wanted somebody in Australia, but that's not, I had 3 Australians booked in at one point, but for one reason or another we just couldn't make it work in the end. So I'm absolutely gutted about that. But we've got Amy in New Zealand, which I know is not Australia. I know they're 2 separate places, but yeah, that's a shame. However, it was an easy sort of choice to pick somebody to replace Jackie, because Jo at Geordie Colours, before she was even involved, had put out an amazing video promoting the Tubeathon and hashtag colouring for cancer, and her enthusiasm and passion for the initiative just came across in that video. So as soon as I got the news about Jackie, the first person I thought of was Jo at Geordie Colours, and thankfully she said yes. And she mentions it in a most recent video. Initially, she was a bit wary about going live, and she still has that option to do it as a premiere, like Erica at Elm Colours is doing. But she's gonna go for it. She's gonna try a live, so that's exciting, isn't it? For somebody who's not done live before. A few of us haven't, but we've been practicing. You might have noticed that's why I think Axic started doing them. I think she maybe intended to anyway. But Annika at Axic Fumbles started lives. Jackie were doing lives before she took this break. Myself and Holly have tried a few, and it was all sort of brought on by us working towards this tubeathon. So yes, and it were the good thing about Jackie is when she was involved, she was going to donate all her ad revenue from her videos in February to the cause, to the World Cancer Research Fund, through our Just Giving page. So that's fantastic. But now she's not in the tubeathon. What she's going to do instead, now she's taking a break, everything that she earns through her videos in January, she is donating, which is fantastic. Super generous. But I say super generous, and it is really generous, because they don't make a lot of money when you look at big people. Now I'm talking about your Sarah Renee Clark's, maybe what's that guy called? I used to follow him, Jazza. Is it Jazza? These creators that are in the artistic creative colouring community, maybe like Kira, is it a Pictured Purpose? Those guys are big creators. They're getting easily 10,000 views on a lot of videos, or way more. So that's a different kettle of fish. I consider them a different entity. They're kind of creating really slick edited TV show style content for YouTube. Very professional. That's that side. But then there's a million more people that are small creators like myself, that are trying to earn a little bit of extra money through their channels, which is absolutely fine by me. I don't mind anybody. It's not for me, for reasons I've mentioned loads in the past. It's just not for me. I don't like being held to anything. I don't like committing to anything. I like to know that if I fancy a break or I'm feeling run down, I can, take myself off for 2 weeks, and I don't owe anybody anything. Whereas if I did memberships, or if I were not so much if I were monetized, because that's YouTube paying you. But if I had a Patreon, I wouldn't have these things anyway, because I've got nothing to give in exchange. But what I'm saying is, I don't like to commit to anything, and I'm far too lazy at the moment to set up monetization. YouTube keep emailing saying you could have earned some money from that video, but I'm not bothered at the minute. I might think about it, further on in the year, but for now it's not for me. However, it's a lot of work that you have to put into it. When Jackie showed, I think, what did she show me, or did she show on her Instagram? But I saw what her January earnings are at the moment, and bearing in mind a lot of people have watched her videos to hear her most recent update. Yeah, they don't make that much out of it. Anyway, each to their own, I say. And you know what? If two parties have a different opinion, just accept it. I don't feel the need to convince anybody of my opinion, and I appreciate it if you don't try and convince me of your opinion. Let's just say let's agree to have a different opinion. It's exciting and healthy when we do. So do not try and, if somebody says, "Oh, my opinion's different from yours. My opinion's this," just say, "Okay, that's great. Fair enough." Don't push your opinions on others. Well, you don't have to do anything I say, but that's the way I try and lead my life. So yes, I wish Jackie the best luck with staying in touch. I was just talking to her not 5 minutes ago, actually, about Neo Colour 2s. So she is doing okay, and enjoying a well-earned rest, not having to think about making videos and stuff like that. Just enjoying her art and her colouring. Aye, so that's good. And then what else has been happening on the colouring for cancer side of things? Ooh, yeah, Holly's mouse guard raffle is still you know, there, and you can register to enter it, because all you need to do is prove that you've donated, you know, to the Just Giving. I'll keep all the links in my videos up until right through the period that we're fundraising. I'll keep links to to how you can donate in every description of every video that I put out in February. I won't go on about it. Once we get kicked off in February, Tubeathon will happen, and then, you know, I might go a bit quiet because it's over to you then. It's over to you guys if you want to help raise some money. But yes, so Holly's mouse guard raffle, she started to get some entries in for that. That's good. The promotion from people like Joe at Geordie Colours, Vera's video was really good. I really appreciate the guys who are streaming, those guys that have put out, I think Colouring with Claire put an Instagram post out, and, you know, you'll start to see things over this week, I think, from the streamers. If they've not already, you might see a video or an Instagram post about their involvement, just giving the whole event a little push, which is much appreciated. But outside the 16 streamers, we've been seeing so much promotion from you lot, just on Instagram, sharing your thoughts, and starting to share little stories of cancer in your families and friends, and, you know, some survival stories. I was so pleased to hear quite a few people are out the other side of it and doing well. So, and I've had tons and tons of people get in touch just to say it's brilliant what you're doing, and I really approve, and I'm I'm a cancer survivor, and I'm so happy about that, because I did worry that you'll notice I've just moved on to leaves, by the way, in this little colour along. We're on to the leaves now, so I'm using 2 colours, flat colour, and then I go in with a bit of dark. I don't stress too much about it when I'm doing speedy alcohol marker colouring. So yeah, people have got in touch and said they've survived cancer, or they're going through it, and they really appreciate us raising awareness. Now, I was worried about that, because I thought I come to colouring to get away from the horrors of life, and by doing this, am I bringing in something negative into somebody's safe space? And to anybody that feels that way, I am really sorry. I haven't heard of anything like that, but I am conscious of it. You might be going through it and not want to hear about it. You might be going through it and just want to have escapism when you come to colouring. But when push came to shove, I just felt it was important enough to want to do it. So that's why I've done it. All right, just temporarily, we'll go back to the colouring. You always get a bit of chat on this channel. That's more what it's about. It's a social thing for me, is my YouTube. Anyway, so I'm using light holly green to just flat colour every single leaf. And then straight away, after I flat coloured it, I grab meadow green, and I'm just going and adding a few darker areas. And it's so subtle. It's not much. And of course, you know that if you let your alcohol marker dry, and then you go over with a darker colour, you'll get a more defined line between the 2 colours. While it's still a little bit damp, it blurs out just like it did there. Sometimes I like the defined line look. I like to put a shadow in Cute and Cozy that's quite a defined line. Remember, not everything has to be perfectly blended. So yeah, I'm just getting on with leaves now. So another thing I wanted to mention is I've been watching as much of Jackie's channel as I can, because, you know, she said she's donating all the January ad revenue, which is like all your monetization that you get from YouTube, because people are watching your videos. So I'm watching as much as I can of Jackie, or I'm listening to her in background, just putting her on anything, you know, in her channel, because it's all going to get donated to World Cancer Research Fund. Anything that she makes from us watching, she's donating it. So a top tip, if you want to go to extremes, because I thought a lot about people being in a bit of a financial crisis at the moment around the world, certainly in UK. I know people are struggling. It doesn't always have to be about donating money when it comes to charity. So for the last few nights, when I've gone to bed, I've gone to Jackie's channel and I've just added a few videos to play next in queue. You know, there's that option, play next in queue. And I've gone for, like, I don't know whether you get paid on how much time you watch or how many videos you watch, but I've just put a mixture of long and short videos in, play in queue, and then I've left it playing on my phone on mute overnight. Now, if you've got data limits, you might not be able to do that, but I can. That doesn't cost me anything to do that. But it's going to add to Jackie's January income, which she is donating. And the wonderful thing is, you don't have to feel like, oh, Jackie's going to get some money. No, she's not. She's donating it all. She's going to show you the screenshot of her ad revenue at the end of the month. So, and then you'll see that amount donated. So that's fabulous. So yeah, top tip, just get Jackie playing through night on your phone on mute on YouTube. I'm full of clever ideas, me. What else did I want to mention? Oh yes, RJ's exclusive page, which he named TLC, Tender Loving Care, has sold brilliantly. So he gave me a little update last week, and people had already spent a lot on it before it would officially release. They just noticed it was there on his website and started purchasing it. So I think it's raised, I can't remember exactly how much he said now without checking my emails, but it was certainly, I think it was getting on for like $300 or $500 or something like that. Quite a lot of money already. And this was last week, and it were over, I think, 120 purchases. So people, I worked it out at the time, and people are purchasing it for an average of like $5, I think, which is brilliant. Even though it's only $1, people are spending more on it as their way of donating. Now I'm going to spread out the ways I donate. So I'm going to buy the page. I'm also going to make a donation straight to the link. I might make a separate donation. I might break it down, you see. Separate donation that I'll count towards the raffle for Holly. Because if I donate quite a lot, I don't want to really take all the tickets from, because you get one ticket per $5 or £5 that you donate for this mouse guard raffle. So I'm gonna maybe do a little separate donation for that. Get 1 or 2 tickets. Then I've got my hashtag, which is my personal initiative for the month. Like where we're asking you guys to come up with your initiatives after the Tubeathon, and just anything you raise fund-wise, anything you fundraise, collect the money in, whatever way you do it, and you can either collect it in yourself and then donate it as a lump sum, or you can just direct people straight to the Just Giving link, which is even better. But yeah, anything you do to help raise money is appreciated. I'm doing hashtag one less book, which is something I hope people will get involved in. So anybody who buys a lot of books every month, which I do, there's normally multiple book purchases each month, I'm going to just try and buy 1 less book. So far I've bought 3 less books, so we're doing all right. I've got some money saved up to donate from that as well, so that's good. Yes, lots of ways you can get involved. And RJ emailed me the other day just to say that his signed copies of his colouring books that is sent a couple of them for me to raffle. So that will be happening in February as well. We'll have, if anybody wants a signed copy of a RJ Hampson colouring book, I will have some to post off to you if you're the winner of the raffle. I think we'll do it as a raffle. And then something else I wanted to tell you, Kath Colours Pages. I don't know whether you know her, Kath. She's on Instagram as @KathColorsPages. Colours spelt with a U and underscores. I'll put her on screen, or I'll put her in the description. She's come up with a fantastic initiative, right? Let me just tell you about this. And this isn't all about me just pushing, promotion on you. I just think it's interesting what everybody's been up to, so I hope you don't mind me sharing it. But Kath came up with this brilliant thing she's doing called hashtag colour in, colour out. Now, she said to me, I don't have a large social media following. Well, first of all, she should, because she's really, really good. She's a really fantastic colourist. I've buddied with her loads. She says, I don't have a large social media following, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my colouring out and about with me. So she sent me a picture. I think she put it on her Facebook. She put it on her Instagram, sorry, that of her sat in a pub with a colouring book and a Neo-Colour twos in a like a craft ale, swanky little bar type thing, just sat there. And the idea is that will attract attention and people think, what's she doing? Now, Kath seems like a sociable lady to me, and I bet she's going to get into a lot of conversation about it, and then she's going to talk about why she's doing it for #colouring for cancer. And then obviously she's going to have the link there ready to sort of encourage people, if they want to donate. So, or even just to talk about, raising awareness of the World Cancer Research Fund and what they do. So it's fantastic. So she's thought outside the box. She's thought, well, I can't do much on social media. What can I do? And I can just imagine her sat there, this really interesting, mysterious, aloof woman with a colouring book. And it just tickles my fancy. What a great way to meet people and talk to them as well. And I think one of the loveliest things about that is there'll be people that speak to Kath while she's doing this that don't get to speak to people a lot. And I think, on a totally different subject, loneliness is rife in this country. And I think doing anything like that, not even just for a good cause, not even for charity, it's just such a wonderful thing. She's a fabulous woman, is Kath. So please go to her Instagram, Kath Colours Pages, Kath_Colours_Pages, and check her out. Yeah, see a little picture of a little colouring book in the bar with a tipple. I love it. I think she's going to go sit in park as well if she gets a nice day or something like that. I don't know. She'll keep filling us in, no doubt. So yeah, well done, Kath. And that's great, a perfect example of using your own initiative in February to do something to help raise money or awareness. Right, where am I up to? I'm on to flowers now, look. So I'm just colouring in the petals. I've chosen R20 powder pink for the petals. And at this point, see, we're 27 minutes into this video, so that must mean I'm at the hour mark, really. When we get another shot of the phone that I'm timing it on. Yeah, just about an hour. It probably popped up on screen when I was yabbering on, but I did accidentally pause it and I forgot to restart it. So there were 6 minutes where I was colouring and I weren't being timed. So I took that off. So my 2 hours is definitely a correctly timed 2 hours. I stopped after 50 minutes one day. And I started again. I did an hour and 10 minutes another day, but in total I've definitely been colouring for, at this point, 55 minutes by the looks of it. There's an hour and 3 minutes left to go. So yes, will I do it in 2 hours? What do we think? And if I don't do it in 2 hours, how long do you think it would take? Do you think you could do it in 2 hours? This is my husband. He just... He came back from shopping and bought me some new snacks. He loves bringing me snacks. No wonder I'm quite, what's the word? Let's say curvy. Let's say chunky. I'm a chunky monkey. Because he keeps bringing me snacks. He's a feeder. So yeah, it's one of them white chocolate cream eggs that we have around Easter time here in the UK. I'm onto the acorns now, look. I chose a colour a bit too dark for these acorns. So I wouldn't, if I were you, I would, if you were colouring along, maybe pick a little lighter colour. It doesn't look too bad in real life, to be honest. But yeah, I think I should have gone with a bit of a lighter colour. But once I start, time is of the essence. We can't dwell on these things. We just have to crack on. So we are coming up to the halfway mark now. So just an hour to go in reality, but on this video it's just going to be about 30 minutes. And I'm just adding a little darker colour to the top of the acorns there. So you can see it's definitely a quick colour. As I said, that's the idea. I don't worry too much about seeing, small flaws in a page. And And I'm same with pencil colouring. I don't mind seeing pencil strokes. Not everything has to be perfectly blended. I'm actually working on a page at the moment, a Hannah Carlson double page in Soulmates, and it's the ring-tailed lemur page. If you're familiar with it, it's a gorgeous girl with glasses on, her hair tied up, and then there's a ring-tailed lemur on the other page. And I've decided bravely to put to do it all in Neo Colour 2s. And nothing else. So it's the first time I've ever done that. I've only really used Neo Colours as a background mainly. So yeah, that's the first for me. And it's looking, you can see that it's a water, that I've used water on it, and you can see areas that are a bit blotchy, but I kind of like that. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I sometimes think to myself, if I were colouring in pencil so smoothly that it looks like digital art, then I might as well get into digital art, which I do fancy getting into actually. Not so much digital art, but like the colouring in digitally. So those apps that you can get where you can colour your page in with I've got a Samsung with one of those little pens, pen things stuck inside phone you can take out. So I'd like to do some of that sort of thing, but on an iPad probably, or something like that. I think that could be quite fun. But yeah, when it comes to colouring by hand, I don't mind seeing that it is coloured by hand. So yes, I'm enjoying that though, that Hannah Carlson double page. But back to this one that we're on now. What am I doing? Oh, I'm doing the twig work. So the branches. What I'm going to do here is just flat colour it in E400 Cocoa Brown, and then I'll go in with a darker colour, a darker marker, and just add some dark bits on the underside of some of the branches, just to create a little bit of depth. It's not necessarily, there's nothing wrong with flat colouring, but I'm going to try and do the best I can within these 2 hours. So we'll see how we get on with that. What else can I that has been happening this week? Oh, in my colouring world, my last video, or one of my last videos, the best 10 colouring books in the world, that did really well. So thank you guys for watching and enjoying that and commenting. I had loads of good conversations in the comment section about what you guys would have chosen as the best. And remember, it wasn't about your favourite 10 books, it was the world's best 10 books. If aliens came to Earth and said, show me the best of what adult colouring has to offer, that was the idea. And those 10 books that I mentioned in that video, which is still there if you want to watch it. I won't spoil anything by telling you what I think the 10 best books are here. But yeah, it were a good video to make, and I'm sort of in the process of the next one. So the next one is going to be the 10 best illustrators in the world, 10 best adult colouring book illustrators in the world, and I'm just narrowing that list down now as we speak. That video should be out later this week, all being well. So that's my colouring world. Oh, and also in my colouring life, I started a chat group on Instagram called the Pig Pen. Some of you might remember because I mentioned it in a few videos before I were going to do it, and when I did it I were kind of promoting it a little bit, but the idea behind it was that it were a place that, because we can't send photos to each other in comment section under my videos, it was supposed to be a little chat group around the Piggy Pens community. But I think because I kind of, when I weren't around as much when I first kind of got the chat group going, I weren't in there a lot, and then when I wanted to go in there, I didn't know a lot of people that were in there. So it just kind of evolved into like a community chat group, which were fine. It was still, it's still people are chatting in it. It's called something else though now, I forget. Because what I've done is I've that chat group's no longer mine. I've handed it over to the people that were enjoying it most. So I don't have out to do with it now in terms of like admin. But yeah, I tried that community chat group around me, my Piggy Pens channel. And it didn't work that time, but it's not to say I won't try it again. In any case, you can DM me anytime if you want to get in touch. Just message me. I were a bit slow for group chatting as well. I realised that, you know, since I used to be big into chat groups in, you know, turn at Millennium. I were massively into chat groups on MSN and things like that. But I'm too slow to keep up with chatting Instagram now, I think. But I love my one-on-one chats and I like small chat groups. So yes, if you're wondering what happened to the pig pen, that's what happened. It still exists, but it's run by different people. It's got a different name. But yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, just comment under the video or drop me a DM on Instagram at piggypens. I love having chats about colouring and whatnot. What are we on to now then? Oh, I'm just finishing off little bits of leaves that I've forgotten. So I chose a little bit of a darker green for some of those other leaves. I've still got cocoa brown wrote on screen, but I think it's because I was just, you know, just doing little bits here and there with a few pens. Look, I'm back on the brown now. Sometimes if I don't colour things that I've missed, when I see them, they will remain missed for eternity. Life at home is really good at the moment. I wanted to start doing some lives, but I don't think I'm very good at concentrating on colouring and chatting with anybody viewing, you know, viewing the live. I think I didn't get much coloured when I tried it last time, so I don't know whether it's for me. I'm still going to go live occasionally as and when I feel like it, and I'll just be doing what I'm doing, you know, whatever I'm working on at the time. And I won't worry about. I think there's quite too many people doing lives now. You can't avoid clashing with people, so it'll just be a case of when my husband's on a night out and he's away overnight, I'll probably do it those nights, maybe a bit later on in the evening, because I know a lot of the people that watch my videos are in America, so it would benefit me to do maybe later night ones. But yeah, I'll do that occasionally. The reason I mentioned that as part of a life update is my husband's not been working away as much this last few weeks, which is the reason you haven't seen me go live. So that's been nice for me. So my evenings I quite like to spend with him because I do love him, and he's my best mate as well. So yeah, I've got actual friends. I've got actual friends. Well, I've got one. I've got one bestie. But I don't see much of her. But I love spending time with my husband. He's a right laugh. He's a really good guy. Great sense of humour. So it's not a bad thing to stay in and spend some time with him. Which I've liked doing more often recently. It's been good not to have him away quite so much. So here, look, I'm doing random colours from the palette, it says. That's because I couldn't be bothered working out what pens I'd used. I'm getting a bit lazy with my edit there. Somebody asked me under a video. I think some people think I'm employed by my channel. I do my best for you, honestly I do. But I've got to draw a line somewhere because, like I say, this isn't a living for me. It's a hobby, both the colouring and the video making. And I'd shown some shiny bits on a page, and it were a YouTube short. So it were only 30 seconds long, this video of me twinkling my page, and I just wrote on the page folk art extreme glitter in hologram, you know, so people knew what it was. And then somebody put underneath it, are you going to show us a picture of the product so that we know what we're looking for if we decide we want to buy it? And I didn't know what to say at first. I just thought, well, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I've told you what it's called. You've got the brand, the product name and the colour. What more do you need? Is that cheeky? Am I being cheeky there? But yeah, so I can only apologise if you're expecting a little bit more of me to put more links and things like that in my description. That's a lot of time. Whether you believe it or not, I now have had my eyes open doing this YouTube lark. It takes ages. Video editing takes an age sometimes, and then just working on your description that you're putting in video, going and finding all your links for products again, you know, and then adding the description in, typing in the description, you know, it takes time. So if I can cut corners, I probably will do. And I think if I put the product on screen, that's good enough. Can you just have a little Google yourself, do you think? I know, listen, I rarely get a comment like that because you're all awesome. Everybody who watches me seems to be like me, really level-headed. So yeah, I appreciate it if you don't mind. Like in the description, I don't write in the colour names. I just put the codes, the colour codes for things. I hope that's okay. Life is too short. There's too much colouring to be done to be writing everything out in full and taking photographs. I think I replied to that. I were polite when we reply. I just said no because it's not an advertisement. So I'm not going to take a photo and show you products. I've told you what it is for your interest. It will more just look at my nice twinkly page. But yeah. I don't get many discouraging comments. We were talking about this, I think it was me and Holly. We've been really lucky. I don't think either of us have got that much disparaging comments on those videos. But yeah, you've just got to remember with some people do make money from their channels, and they are, working with brands to sell you products, or to review them, not necessarily to sell them, to review them. So they're going to go the extra mile to put links in descriptions and photographs of the product and things like that. But a lot of us, it's just a hobby. We're not employed by our channels. You don't get to put us through a monthly review. So yeah, but I hope most of you enjoy it anyway. And if you don't, you've got other options, haven't you, of people to watch. Right then, so I'm on with my grey squirrel now. I've had to record this voiceover. This is second time, and I got right to close to end of video, but my phone just had a little bit of a meltdown, and it didn't save the last recording. So I'm getting a bit parched. Getting a little bit parched, so I am. And also, I can't. When this happens, you can't remember what you've discussed. So I might have repeated myself. This is just a bit of blend. I'm using blender here just to fade out some of that grey into white, which is what the blender's for. It's brilliant to fade your marker out to white. And I'm just doing the legs of the birds now by the looks of it. And I think I move on next. We're gonna go start on the birds, which were my favourite part of actually this whole page. The birds are fantastic. So we must be coming towards, what is it now? So this is 42 minutes into the video itself. So there must be about 30 minutes left on this page, and I've got all the birds to do, all the main elements. So I think that's what it works out at. I can't quite see the screen of that telephone, but yes, I think I've got about 30 minutes left. So I am on with the twigs. Oh, I'm just adding the darker colour now, as I mentioned, just to give this branch work and these twigs a little bit more depth. So we must be onto the birds pretty soon. I keep having to break off to try and dry rocket off. The weather has been very wet here. Got America under great snowfall and terrible weather, and then when I was talking to Jackie earlier, she mentioned it was 45 degrees where she is, so she's roasting alive in Australia. So, well, that's the case with Southern Hemisphere and Northern Hemisphere, I guess, isn't it? The differences in weather. But yeah, it's wet and miserable here, and Rocket is sopping wet through, and he's wanting to lay on all sofas and stuff, like dogs do. But he has to dry off first, and it takes ages for his fur to dry. There's been we've got new neighbours next door, and there's a CAT moved in, and we've discovered the thing it's been like bothering him this last few weeks. We think it's because he knows about the CAT next door, because I saw an unfamiliar cat in the garden through the kitchen window, and I thought, I wonder if them neighbours have got a cat. And they have. We've seen it inside sat on the windowsill now, so we know it's theirs. But yeah, I think Rocket can sense when it's in the back garden, or when it's in, in their garden next door. All right, Rocket. And we have to use the term CHATTY instead of saying the word around him, because very recently as well, he's twigged now that, because he doesn't like cats, or he thinks he doesn't like cats. So if he sees a cat in garden, he goes out like a bullet and chases it. And he'd never get hold of one, I'm sure, but they're always around our bird table trying to eat the birds. So some of them we don't know if they're strays or what. So anyway, he shoots after cats if he sees them. But now I think he's twigged that that's what they're called. All right, come here, sweetheart. He's twigged that that's what they're called. So if you say the word, he starts gets a bit het up, don't you? Don't you? Where's them cats? Where's them cats? See? Go on, go see him off. Go see him off. You big strong dog, aren't you, protecting us? Bless him. He's definitely coming of age now, he's Rocket. So back to what we're doing then. So I've started on these birds. I've chosen, sorry about the focus there, chosen this pale fruit pink for the breast of these two birds. So I'm doing them exactly the same colour as each other. I don't know why the camera was doing that. Something else happened interesting that actually relates to both my normal life and my colouring life, because I've never told anybody in my family apart from my husband that I colour and that I've got this channel, because it's not a big deal really. And well, when I say my family, I mean it's just my brother and nephew and my brother's partner. That's Rocket playing with his toys. And my brother is wonderful, and I love him to bits, and I know he loves me to bits, but sometimes he just lacks a little bit of, I don't know, sensitivity, I would say. So I don't know, I can't see him being positive about it. He would say something a bit jokingly, and he wouldn't realise, but it'd probably make me feel a bit embarrassed. Do you get what I mean? Guys are sometimes just like that. Not all guys, but I think you know what I mean. But somehow, I think I told my nephew about it, and I think he might have mentioned it to his dad. But anyway, they found out that I had Instagram, and they mentioned it. They were catching up with one of my cousins, and she was asking how I were doing, and she said, I think she's colouring, she's got an Instagram, and told him what the Instagram was. So then my cousin went to my Instagram, and she found my YouTube channel through that. So I was a bit gutted. I was like, well, that's it, my bubbles burst now, because I was loving just having it for myself and just being 100% me without getting judged by people who might be a bit negative about it, or take the piss. But what we mean is, what do we mean? What's the proper terminology for taking piss out of somebody? Be slightly disparaging, but in a kind of humorous way that they think's well-meaning, but sometimes it can make you a little bit sensitive, I guess. 20 minutes left on this page. This green grey, I'm sorry I'm breaking off, but this green grey is a beautiful colour. Love it. GG1 green grey, fantastic colour. Anyway, I were going... So, yeah, I was a bit gutted about my family finding out. And I saw my brother on New Year's Eve, and he said, I watched one of your videos. I couldn't watch more than a few minutes of it because it was just your hands. And I just thought, well, you don't get it, do you? It's just, that's what we all do, isn't it, in colouring? Very rarely do we show us faces. But I just thought, this is why I didn't tell anybody, because I just couldn't be bothered explaining. And, I don't need anybody's feedback on it. It's just for me. I'm doing it just for me. Anyway, then my cousin a few days later messaged me and said, your Paul said you were doing colouring, eye colour. I think it's brilliant. I've watched your channel and I think you're amazing and all that. So she thinks like I'm quite good at colouring. which is lovely. So she's been far more supportive, which is wonderful, but it's also super weird. And I know she'll probably hear this and I don't mind and she won't mind. But for me, it's a little bit like, oh, I kind of, I didn't want anybody in my real life to know about it. I don't know whether that's the same for any of you guys or not, but I just wanted some, because I've done a lot of different things hobby-wise in my life, and I just thought, for once, I just want something for myself, So, but anyway, I got talking with her, and then she asked me if I'd buddy up with her. So we've now got a buddy in, squeezed it in this month, in Small Victories, because she's only got a few cute and cozy books and Small Victories, because she's not been doing it that long. So that's kind of sweet. She's been lovely. And listen, don't get me wrong, my brother is a fantastic guy, and if I needed out, I know he'd be there for me. And same goes me for him, and he has been in my life in the past. He's been an amazing brother. But he just has what all men in our family had. It's just a weird, like, lack of sensitivity. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, so my secret's out with my family, sadly. Just hope. Thankfully, he didn't want to watch any more of my channel. Because it's not going to be his thing, is it, anyway? So yeah, he shouldn't hear any of this. If he does, he's been secretly watching me then. So, on to this woodpecker. The colours have been on screen. I'm just going back in with a darker colour now and giving the feathers some dots just for a little bit of interest. But yeah, so less than 20 minutes to go now. So we're at 51 minutes into the video. Less than 20 minutes to go. What are you thinking now? So I'm still got quite a few birds outstanding to do. Do you think I am going to succeed in my challenge or fail miserably? Let me know in the comments what you think. And don't forget, if you decide to do this challenge, you don't have to have a blooming YouTube channel or even an Instagram. Just if you decide to do it, just as a bit of fun. Remember, it's 2 hours, alcohol markers, 1 white gel pen. Send me your pictures on Instagram, DM. I'd love to see them. Definitely would. I'm sorry he's getting really loud. I might have to pause this voiceover business until he's calmed down a little bit. But what can you do? Some people manage to have these YouTube channels and they've got children and everything, so I've no real excuses. These two birds are so cute. If I haven't said it already, RJ Hampson does wonderful, wonderful animals. I don't have any Mr. Fogarty books. Somebody just gifted me recently Pirates, which I'm looking forward to getting to. I do love all these books that have like animals in and like elven people or, fantasy stuff. I like his fantasy books, that's what I'm trying to say. And I've put his dragon book in my wish list because wish lists are brilliant, by the way, as well. I only discovered them when I started doing a channel because everybody has a wish list, don't they? A lot of creators have wish lists. But you don't have to have a wish list that is connected to your address, so to get things sent out. I do, but you can have a wish list just to save the stuff that you want to purchase. This is all new to me. So anything now I know I want, I pop on my wish list, and it's great not keeping it in my basket because me and my husband share the same Amazon account. So he would accidentally buy things out of my basket that are just saved, or he would, that I'm just thinking about, or he would accidentally delete stuff out of my basket. I just know it because he's such a klutz. But I'm onto the white gel pens, look, woohoo! So I prefer my panda fly, so that's what I've gone with, and there's 10 minutes left to go. Yeah, I like my panda fly the best. So yeah, wish lists are great for that. If you want a wish list for a wedding, I guess a lot of people use it for that. But they're just a great place to save stuff because if you're anything like me, I first week after payday or after my husband's been paid, I treat myself to some new books or something like that, and then when the money runs out, I have to wait till next payday. So I don't forget about things. I pop them in my wish list, and it's really good for that. There's loads of new releases next year that I put in there the other day, so I don't forget that they're to come. But yeah, I've popped the RJ Hampson's Dragon book in there, which I'm going to get probably next month. There's no rush for me because I'm fully booked up with buddies and I've got so many untouched books that I can be getting on with. As long as I don't think something's going to go out of print, it can just sit there until, until such time as I'm ready to colour in it and I've got the time to. So yeah, never a rush. When it comes to books now, I've got a lovely, lovely collection of, I think I'm at maybe like near 130 books now, which is crazy but wonderful at the same time. So yes, right, so we're in the final 10 minutes now. Just adding some white to my bumblebees there. I do forget the acorn in the middle of the picture, what the squirrel's holding. Totally forgot to do any white gel pen on that one. Actually, there's no sun shining, so you can go overboard with highlights and things like that, but I think this page just needed it. Just needed a little bit of help with a pop on some elements. But I love the way it looks as well. You can go overboard with white gel pen. I often do. But I still love it. And anything cute and whimsical, I think it's got its place. How is your month going? So if you're somebody who has sort of plans for the month, colouring wise, how are they going? I've got 4 pages left to do, I think. Got this Hannah Carlson double page. I've got a watercolour page, which I'm excited to get to, in that Houses of France book, where it's like watercolour paper. And I've got my Small Victories page with my cousin. And I've got a lovely page in a Maria Troller book in Twilight Garden. A lovely picture of a mummy mouse with 4 little baby mice, some flowers. So that's going to be nice. And I'm giving myself to 29th and I'm not colouring up 30th because I want to prepare for Tubeathon. Because I still, my fellow streamers have all practiced with this, or most of them I think have practiced with this OBS, or they know how to use it, like proper streaming software. And I was going to do that, but as somebody who's not going to really be streaming regularly afterwards, I'm quite happy to just try a basic live, like the lives that I did when we picked the pages for the Winter Wonder collab, if you remember that live that I did. So I'm just going to try and do it basic through my phone and on YouTube app, and then I'll just have YouTube open on my laptop so I can read the chat. I think I'm just going to keep it basic because I'm finding it more and more difficult as I'm getting older to learn new things. So I'm still really confident and capable. Like I've put this Tubeathon together and all that sort of thing, and it will like being back at work with spreadsheets and just using my brain in general, and I'm a really capable person, believe it. I've had some really good, responsible jobs in the past that I've never told you about. But as I'm going through the perimenopause and as I'm getting older, I find it so difficult now to want to learn something new. It's not so much learning it. If I give it a go, I'd probably be fine, but just the prospect of taking on, like watching a few YouTube videos on how to do it, how to set myself up, and just the thought of it, the minute it's mentioned, I'd do anything else other than that. It just sounds painful. So yeah, I think I'll just keep it simple for Tubeathon. I can't remember why we're talking about that now, but hey ho, there you go, perimenopause again. So I am loving the way my white gel pen is looking, just to help these little birds stand out a little bit, because I don't have a great deal of contrast. That's a funny colour, like I say, that I chose for the background. I don't think it's helped me, so I just need to make things pop out a little bit from it, and I think the white gel pen helps me with that, certainly on the edges of the leaves. That's what I use it for more than anything anyway on a page like this. Not so much, it's not light, it's not the reflection of a light source, it's just to help things pop. 6 seconds left to go. Oh my god, fail. So there you are. Now you know I failed this challenge, so I wasn't able to complete it in 2 hours. I haven't got any white gel pen on that squirrel. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to set my stopwatch and we're going to find how. You can see I'm in the very last moments of this page. But I've set my stopwatch to find out how long it did take me. So go to the comments now and have your last guess if you haven't done already. How long do you think it will take me then? So we know it's not 2 hours now because I have failed miserably, but I've given it a good go though. But how long do you think it took me then? So I obviously know the answer, but at this point I didn't. At this point in the video, I didn't know how long. But I felt it was important to carry on with the gel pen. It's no good saying, "Oh, I'm finished," and cheating. I wanted to, get all the areas of the page to the same standard. So you can see I've picked up my pace though now. I am just flicking that white pen everywhere. Flick, 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 flick. Because I'm conscious of the stopwatch now. It was fun to do this. I really enjoyed that chaos colouring that I did. That was a brilliant challenge. That's also on my channel. There's a playlist called Fun Stuff. It's under there. And I've really enjoyed doing this. So I'll definitely repeat this sometime. I think it's a great way just to catch up on your buddies. If you've got a few buddies like lined up and you're thinking, I'm not going to get through all these, do a little challenge like this. You might find that you like the end result. I love this page. I can see what's wrong. I can see things that I would do differently, but I still love it. So yes, just going in there, trying to kind of like soften the edges up a little bit. Adding a little highlight just to bring him out from that background, which is very similar. The contrast isn't great from background to foreground in this page, I'm afraid. I don't mind it too much. You can tell I'm quite a positive person, can't you? Because I'm always looking for the silver lining. I'm always a cup is half full person. Unless it's about health, and then I am, if I've got a funny ache or if I've had a pain in my chest that I've not had before, I'm completely convinced that I'm dying. So, but outside health, I'm a cup is half full kind of person. So it's been 5 minutes now over the 2 hours. And I'm looking at what I'm doing there. I'm thinking I must be getting to a point where I'm thinking, am I done? So I'll just be checking for bits that I've missed, surely, and just going in, adding little bits here and there. That, like I say, the acorn that the squirrel's holding, I never went back to that. I didn't see it. It's now got a little bit of white gel pen on it, but it didn't have in this video, unfortunately. I'm just adding in the pupils because some of the marker pen bled, so I've gone in with the white gel pen to make the eyeballs white again. But in doing that, I've accidentally gone over some of the black, the pupil. So that's me just using a little calligraphy pen there to just add a bit of black pupil back in. And then I'm starting with some gel pen dots, which I love. We're coming up to 7 minutes now. But I love a gel pen dot, me. Again, you can go overboard, but they always add a little bit of magical magic to a page, I think, sometimes. Just make it look a bit cute. But on this page, I think it looks... I don't mind these little white gel pen dots that I'm doing now because it looks like I think it makes it look like it's after rain or, you know what I mean? They're like little splashes, aren't they? My mouth is so dry with all this talking. And I'm sorry if I've waffled a little bit in this particular video. I've been a little bit distracted by Rocket, so I don't think I've been on my game as much as usual. So you just have to give me a free pass on this, if you will. Come back and see my next video if this one's not for you. We must be coming up to finishing now. Oh, that's it. 2 hours and 9 minutes, and I'm celebrating, thinking about eating me Cadbury's cream egg. So that's it, page done. 2 hours and 9 minutes that took, and I'm really, really quite pleased with it for that amount of work and effort, and I had a load of fun. That's the finished page. taken a photograph in daylight just by my window ledge. So that's nice, isn't it? I'm really pleased with it. I hope you've enjoyed spending some time with me. I know I've been quite waffly and very, very chatty, maybe a little bit too much, but I appreciate you watching. If you've watched this far, thank you so, so much. I'd love it if you'd give the video a like. And if you're not subscribed, if you want to consider doing that, I'd love that as well. Don't forget, complete this challenge. You don't have to be a content creator, but if you are, don't forget it's hashtag RJ 2-hour challenge. That's it. Hashtag RJ 2-hour challenge. And just to remind you again, it's 2 hours, alcohol marker only, and 1 white gel pen. There we are, all done. Until next time, guys. Ta-ra for now.